get right to Republican Pennsylvania Congressman Keith Rothfus. Great to see you, sir.
Good evening.
Pretty heated meeting at the White House today. Let me give you quick headlines. Schumer said to President Trump at one point, elections have consequences. The president fired back. That's why the country is doing so well. And you saw it, apparently. I take it you saw what happened, right?
I did see it. And
who won that fight? Who won it?
You know, the old saying goes, it's simple until you make it complicated. And you saw Chuck Schumer and Nancy Pelosi making it complicated. We need to secure our border, period, full stop. We have had a heroin crisis in this country, fentanyl, all these drugs coming across that border. The cartels are out of control in Mexico. It's good to see that the president is making this stand for border security. This should have been done 15 years ago. Administrations of both parties, Congresses of both parties have not done what needs to be done to secure this border. We have to stop the flow of drugs coming into this country. We have to know who's coming into this country. Again, the cartels have wreaked havoc on that side of the border. Mexico should be concerned about the southbound flow of illicit cash across this open border. This is a issue that both countries need to come to terms with to stop the carnage that's being resolved because of what the cartels are doing.
That's the point that the president is trying to make. Pelosi apparently cannot afford to have a government shutdown over this because she does not yet have the votes to be House Speaker. What was your take on Chuck Schumer saying, quote, Trump is bragging about how successful the border wall has been in stopping problems, given all that you've heard? It sounds to me, when you saw it, and to other people who watched it, and are saying that, listen, they seem to be downplaying the problems at the border when the Border Patrol is saying, hey, we captured 3,000 illegals in just one day last week, sir.
Well, and that's good news, but we have to increase the resources we have on that border. It's not just building a wall. You're not going to have a 2,000-mile wall from San Diego to Brownsville. There are parts of the border that are open that need a barrier, that we know where things are coming in, and that needs to be stopped. And we have to increase the capacity at our ports of entry with more personnel, more equipment to inspect every single vehicle that's coming in, because that's where they're hiding the drugs. That's where they're smuggling individuals. The cartels actually smuggle people into this country, and they get a fee for that. So this is an issue that both countries have to be attacking aggressively. The new president in Mexico has already made moves to start to go after the cartels. I hope there's going to be more of that. But again, these cartels have gone on for too long doing what they're doing with impunity.
You know, the critics are coming in. We're just watching the headlines crossing, sir, that Schumer and Pelosi did look very weak. They were saying things like, we don't want to have this debate in front of the cameras, but then they ran outside to the cameras to start talking, sir.
Well, this is a debate that should be in front of the cameras. It should be in every single living room of the country. We want to have a secure border. If a country cannot secure its borders, look, countries are different. You have different laws, different mores. Having a border defines what a country is, because you can know that there are going to be differences between the two countries. This country stands for freedom. It stands for fundamental rights that other countries don't have. That's why you have, I think at the lead-in, you had 158 million people want to come to this country. We have a wonderful place here,
but we also have severe, but we also have poverty and homelessness. We've got a lot of problems inside our borders as well that we need to fix, right?
Which is why you have to control immigration. You have to know who's coming in, which is the other aspect of having a secure border.
Canada controls it. Australia controls it. Why? And you know, the president was saying Israel has a border wall that works. So, you know, let me back up. 12 years ago, Chuck Schumer and other Democrats, including Hillary Clinton and Obama, wanted tougher border policies, and 5 years ago they wanted it. I mean, now President Trump says if he doesn't get funding for the wall, the military will build it. The Defense Department says it's not ready to do that. And Schumer also Chuck Schumer said one can do border security without a wall. A wall does not solve the problem. That's Chuck Schumer. Your take and final word on that, sir.
Well, again, you do need parts of that border to be secured with a barrier. And there was a law that Chuck Schumer and Nancy Pelosi, I don't know if they voted for this, was back in 2006, the Secure Fence Act of 2006, never fully completed. Again, this is an issue that has been out there for over a decade. The failure to secure this border has wreaked havoc in both countries because of the drugs coming in here and the southbound flow of illicit cash into Mexico. It's past time to secure the border, and the president is right to insist that this border become secure.
Republican Congressman Keith Rothfus of Pennsylvania, thank you so much for joining us tonight.
Thank you.
Let's look at the